Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast. Today, I'm joined by...
Luke Melby.
Braden Walter.
And Ben Kincaid.
I am your host, Braden Becker, and let's just get right into the meat and potatoes here. After a scuffed morning.
Yeah, so what happened?
Okay, so I'm going to give some background on this. I got to school this morning like 20 minutes late, and everybody's kind of confused, and I've been waiting to tell them until right now. So basically, my regular bus driver, like that takes me to my regular school, is on vacation for all of this week with her daughter in Florida. She told us as much on Friday of last week. And we've had a sub driver for the past 3 days, because today's Thursday, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's Thursday.
So we've had the same sub driver for the past 3 days, and he's been good. He's gotten here pretty much the same time as my regular bus driver. No problems. We get to school on time, and we have a different one today. And a little bit of a rocky start. Arrives to our stop a little later, and then when you leave our stop, you go left to go out of our neighborhood.
Yep.
And she just floors it and goes straight. Everybody, left, goes straight. And she's like, oh, what do I do? So we stopped there for a good 3 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
Way
Oh
longer
my
than we needed
God.
to. And we're like, okay, we'll just turn up this road and just kind of turn around. Just do like a 2-point turn and
Yeah.
go back out.
Yep.
Nope, decides to go all the way back to the back of our neighborhood. So we
Holy
basically did a big loop-de-loop. Instead of turning left, we just went right and went all the way around and came back up to my stop. So we're leaving my stop like 6-7 minutes later than usual. We get out of the neighborhood okay. We go the long way instead of the short way, which that's only like 2 extra minutes, but when you're already late, that matters. And so we get to school, and at my school, there's the bus area, and then the car rider line kind of goes around the back of the bus area.
Yeah.
And then in the car rider lane, there's a second lane for if a bus needs to pull in because the car rider line's blocking. So our sub bus driver decides it's a good idea, instead of using the bus lane, to sit in the car rider line and wait in it like traffic on a highway.
Oh, no.
So we sat in that line for about 5 minutes. And we finally pull up to the curb, and then we get to do a bus evacuation drill. So the CTC bus is here when we pull up to the curb. I see it, the bus driver standing outside like he normally does. We do our bus evacuation. I get on, and since I sit in the back of the bus because I'm cool, I get to
all
sit.
The cool kids are in the back.
Yep, I get in the back, and I just stand there and wait for literally every other person on the bus to get on, and then every other person on the bus to get off. I get off. Oh no, the CTC bus isn't there. Where'd it go? I even texted one of my friends and told him, hey, can you make sure the bus driver doesn't leave without me, or can you save me a seat? Because every time we'd be late and he wouldn't save me a seat, I'd have to sit with this one kid who refused to move over. So I was sitting on like 3 inches of the seat in the aisle
Just four.
while people with instruments are trying to get on and off because there's some like band thing at TJ that we drop people off at.
Yeah.
So the CTC bus just left without me, and one of the assistant principals said that she was calling people and like asked if they were going to CTC, and she didn't ask me. And I was like, I'm the only person that goes to CTC on my bus, and they left without us. And then my friend texted me, he's like, oh dude, we just left without you. Oh crap. And I'm like, dude, I literally told you. He's like, I was focused on an essay. I'm like, dude, okay. Sitting there thinking to myself, like, kind of a lame excuse, like, literally sit with him every day. So my dad had to come get me and take me. And then there was traffic on 15, so we had to go through the city. And then we had to sit at every light in the city. And then we came back out. Dude, oh, man. When I got off the bus and saw that the CTC bus had left, when we're walking down to the AP, I was literally like, my hands were shaking of how pissed off I was, because I mean that's unreal. Like,
yeah, that's.
I mean, seriously,
Like, everything happened.
Literally,
that day.
how could literally everything went wrong?
Yep.
We miss a turn. We have a sub driver, bus evacuation drill. We sit in the car rider line. We hit traffic. It's like what else could have happened other than us getting in an accident?
I mean, to be fair, your neighborhood is kind of a maze.
Except we were all saying left, 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 left.
Yeah, the
And
whole-
there was
that's
plenty
true.
of opportunity to
That's
turn
true.
left. And I guarantee you one of the kids in the front had said, turn left up here, before the bus even started moving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because when it's a sub, you
You see, like, the
Got it.
people
You
that
gotta-
know where they're
you
going.
tell
like,
them to
sit up
make
in the
sure.
front. Yeah.
just because you don't want what happened today to happen.
That's-
So yeah, that's
the
kind of
thing.
where I'm at this morning.
Yeah, you came
I've been
in and
kind of
sat
I've been
down.
kind of soured today.
You came in and sat down next to me, and you were like, "I want to punch somebody." I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh,
dude.
okay."
I wanted to do more than punch something. I wanted to just like put my fist through a wall like Kyle on Monster Energy.
All right. So quickly before we really get into the nitty gritty, quick shout out to Isabella for making the logo and stuff like that for the podcast, and also, I've just forgot
That's
what
the
I was
noise you
gonna
make after
say.
you drink water.
I just forgot what I was gonna say.
Yummy.
Oh,
Another shout out to Mr. Frank for
yes,
hooking it
shout
up with
Frank.
our equipment and hosting us here.
Mm-hmm.
Big ups, Frank at CTC.
What was I going to say?
That's a good question, and I don't know the answer to it.
Oh, okay. So today in the podcast we're gonna be talking about how we got our start in film and just kind of what all led us here, because there's really no good movies out right now. There's good movies, but they haven't come
Joker
out.
comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, Joker comes out tomorrow. So
We
we'll-
missed it by a
out
day.
yet.
So I think our
Flip.
next podcast will probably be about
Frick.
Joker. So,
Yeah.
but today we're
So,
just
yeah.
gonna be sitting back and talking
We'll
about
have the-
what got us here today.
The next episode will it'll definitely be about
Yeah.
Joker, unless one of us
Mhm.
like dies
Yeah.
in the next couple of days,
Yeah,
which I doubt will
I
happen.
don't think any of us are gonna.
This episode should be titled Origin Story.
That's a good one.
Then laugh.
So the next episode will probably be Joker,
Joker,
and
and
then
then Zombieland
most
will
likely
be next. And
then
Zombieland,
Zombieland.
unless
If things go according to plan.
exactly.
Mhm.
But yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
So
Who wants to start us off with the origin stories?
Origin stories.
does anybody think they have a good one?
I got a pretty solid one. All right,
Well, you can start that.
all right. So I originally started. I mean, obviously, I watch YouTube just like any other kid.
Do you want to
Mhm.
plug your YouTube channel?
Oh
real
yeah,
quick?
I'll do a quick plug. YouTube.com/it's Braden. It's apostrophe S Braden, Braden. All right.
Yeah,
Um,
everybody tries to spell my name. I don't know if you have the same problem. Literally everyone
always
that
a
writes
Y.
my name, Y
Yep.
or an AE.
Yep.
And it's like, you'd think people would just spell it the right way the first time because it's less letters.
Well,
but everyone adds extra Ys
the-
and stuff. I've
that's
never met
crazy.
anyone with an AE.
The normal way, there's always a Y. So I understand why people do it, but it's annoying as hell.
I don't.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, I don't meet really many other people named Braden to begin with.
I know like one or two.
But like, I've never met anybody who spells it with a Y.
Yeah, but yes, that's kind of annoying. But yeah, again, Braden. So I originally started. I think it was, what was it?
Whoa, that's a bad language.
I said fa.
Fuck.
But oh man, it must have been probably 2005 to like 10, maybe
Dang.
around there.
So you were like 2.
So you were 2 years old?
Well, I was born in 03.
Yes,
So
you were
you were
2
like
in
2.
Okay,
05.
so I wasn't 2. So it was probably like 2010. 2010.
That seems more
give or
reasonable.
take. Give or take.
About 7 years. That's
But so it started. YouTube was. They had their own kind of communities. Like it wasn't like kind of how nowadays, where it's like everyone has their own communities, but everyone just kind of knows each other in a sense.
Mhm.
But it was YouTube at the time was everyone had their own like niche groups.
Mm.
And so what me and my brothers did, which I think we started doing this because of my cousin, but we did ugly.
Thank you for that, Asian audio man Michael.
Asian audio man.
Not too loud. We'll pick the audio. We almost got there. I saw it. It went up pretty high.
But yeah, no. So everyone had their own kind of niche groups, and what we did was ugly doll videos. So for those of you who don't know, so I'll explain
What
it.
is
So
that?
ugly dolls,
Other
they-
than the things from horror movies.
yeah, so they were like these little like stuffed animals, and so they had like different. they all had their own names and backstories, and they were like different little like weird little monster. Like there was like a dude bat. There was like a bad guy. There was this dude with like big ears named.
Did
Plunko.
he fight Superman?
Clunko?
No, Plunko.
Plunko.
It was a whole like it had its own little niche community, and
Are these like the things you find on the end of an aisle at Toys R Us
I mean at the
before
time
it closed?
I don't know. At the time,
Probably.
you would have to look for them, but you could find them pretty easily at the time. Not so much nowadays. But like I could probably bring one in one day and show you guys. But because we still have a bunch of them. But so we just took like the family video, like home video camcorder that we had, and we took these little dolls. And like they weren't dolls, they were like stuffed animals. But so we took them and like made voices with them, and like literally just had our hands in the frame and like, moved them. And like we had a whole story, and our videos now they have like upwards of 2,000 views. Like,
Are you serious?
yeah,
Holy
like
crap.
Dude.
and there was like some of the bigger guys back in the day. It was like CJ, AJJ. My brothers did like a voiceover for one of his things they did with Ugly Dolls, and so we got clout off of that and stuff like that. And it was like, so
Dang.
we knew like we were one of the more top YouTube channels of that time. So it was it had its very.
How many subs did you have?
I don't know. I don't think.
Do you remember what the YouTube channel's called? Do you
Yeah,
know if
I
it's
can
still up?
pull them up right now. I
I don't know why I'm pulling my
What was
phone
it
out.
called?
I don't know what it's called.
So we had two channels. Yeah, it's a little echoey. It's fine. I'll just talk quieter. We had two channels. One was the Caps Fan 1. Hold on, let me. So one was the Caps Fan 1, and the other. What was the other? So I don't know. It was weird how we had it set up because we didn't really know what we were doing, obviously, because we were pretty young at the time. So we had two channels, and we just kind of like shared uploads. Like they were all the same content, but it was like one channel has some better videos than the other channel, but it was all essentially the same stuff. But so it was a very sorry, I hit my mic, but it was a very little niche community, but for what it was, they pulled views at the time. I'll pull it up later.
I mean, I would think it was probably easier for channels to get views on YouTube back in the day, because
Yeah,
YouTube now is like super oversaturated. Like
Yeah.
every other kid you know has a YouTube channel. It's just a matter of if they make decent content or not.
Yeah.
So like now it's way harder because there's so many people doing certain things.
So many
Like
things, yeah.
But so we did YouTube. We did the Ugly Doll videos for a good bit. And I'll link the channels in the description of this video. And also we're on Spotify now. So
we are on Spotify.
So the link will also be in the description.
Just search Real Talk and go to podcasts, and you've got to scroll down a little bit
Yeah.
because we don't have clout yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and it'll also be linked in the description. So if you guys do want to check us out on Spotify
Too, yeah.
and listen to us on the go, then you go there.
Or you can buy
Yeah,
YouTube
right.
Red. I mean, waste of money.
Yeah.
Isn't it like $2 a month or something?
It's more dollars a month than you should pay for
Let's
YouTube.
not-
because
Yeah.
YouTube's fine without it.
Guys,
But,
let's not insult the overlords.
Yeah.
Please bless us with good fruits of
praise be.
views and subscribers.
But
Well, they don't control that.
I was joking.
I mean, they control if we get on trending.
That's true.
When's the last time you saw a podcast on
That's
trending,
fair.
though?
Misfits podcast.
It's always really they trend.
They've been
Yeah.
trending.
They've been on
I've
trending
noticed
a
a
couple
couple
times.
Yeah.
But
Usually trending. All I see is slime videos and the next
Yeah,
Ariana
child
Grande song.
friendly.
Yeah,
But
very child friendly. Half music videos, and then a couple really clickbaity videos like I bought a mansion for my grandparents or something.
But that's actually just their mention.
Yeah.
And they just didn't buy it for
Or
their
it's
grandparents.
just a show house that
Yeah,
they
It's
just
just actually just their grandparents'
rented for
house.
a day.
It's
Yeah.
literally just their grandparents'
just
house.
already
and
own
it's
it.
like,
But yeah, so then after we did the Ugly Doll videos for a little while, so my brothers, they got older and they didn't really want to do it anymore. But I still wanted to do it because I had a blast doing it. So I went off and made my own YouTube channel, which is so I went through a couple names, which is now it's Braden, and that I assume will also be linked in the description if you guys do want to check that out. I went through a couple.
We'll have a bunch of
names.
our social medias
we'll
linked in
have
the
a whole
description
thing.
because I mean, who doesn't want clout?
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
So I went off and started my own YouTube channel and started out with like some Minecraft Let's Plays, just like every other YouTuber.
Oh yeah.
And then just kind of sprouted into like story times, and like I made Club Penguin videos and all this other stuff.
Club Penguin.
Your
And
Club
now-
Penguin videos.
Yeah,
Good.
they were pretty solid.
Was it like Cowbelly Club Penguin where you'd go in and like troll people and like swear at them? Because
I would literally just like hop in Club Penguin and play with my friend and then
Oh.
commentate over it. I'm pretty sure. They were old videos.
Dude,
That was a dark time.
man, the OG
But-
Cowbelly Club Penguin videos are so, dude, those are god tier, man. And that is so funny.
Mm-hmm. But then from there, I worked into funny moments for like Minecraft and stuff, and now I'm just doing Rainbow funny moments and like Call of Duty,
Yeah.
CS stuff like that. I think
They're good. They're rainbow videos.
Thank you,
I watched
thank you.
them.
I'm
They're
coming
actually
up-
pretty
yeah.
funny. I like them.
I'm coming up on 400. I think I'm at 388
Dude,
right now.
the opening joke in that last video,
Oh, that was a.
it was a banger joke.
Every single comment.
Oh, yeah.
Was that opening joke?
It was so good. That was
was-
such a good way to open the video. It really sets the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
But,
good. I like them.
Oh man.
Yeah, no. So, so I went through a bunch of different names, and it was weird, because I started out with like Minecraftia 28 when I was doing Minecraft stuff. Then I went to like Nova Assassin something, and then like the Gaming Bee was like the most recent one, and then now it's Brady.
I think you've definitely improved on the name because
definitely.
those first two
I mean, I
are
was
the
like,
most stereotypical 12-year-old Xbox
Yeah.
player
I was
gamer
like,
tags.
how I must have been. I definitely wasn't old enough to own a YouTube channel, and like the terms and regulations, like I was not.
I'm looking at all your
up
videos.
to-
Half of
hard
YouTube
there.
probably isn't,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
honest.
I'm
We
gonna
are
see,
though.
like,
YouTube don't delete us.
Yes.
The
we-
oldest one. I'm gonna try to find how
But
long ago.
I
it was.
still
You know you
have-
can you can sort by oldest, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
I still
how
have my
many did you
very
post
first
for?
video up on YouTube. Like my very first video I've ever made. It was
I'm like,
I was
what's
playing
that?
Minecraft on a server called Mob Arenas, and
Yeah.
it was the laggiest garbage ever. Like it was so bad.
Is it Funny Moments Minecraft episode 1
Yes.
with MJ
Yes.
Socher?
It's
Yeah.
Braden cries
It
live
was-
on
that was
stream.
5
That's-
years ago.
yeah.
That was 5 years
What
ago.
what was the reason you
Okay,
cried in that video
so-
again? Because I don't remember.
All right,
haven't
so-
watched it.
One of my
Yeah.
most viewed videos on my
Being
channel
drizzled.
right now are it's Braden cries on live stream or whatever the hell it's called. So basically, at the time, I think, oh dude, I don't think I was even at 100 subscribers before that happened. And so basically, I had some idols in the community. They weren't like huge, like they weren't like millions of subscribers, but they were up there.
Mhm.
They were like
Mhm.
in the community I'm in, like the gaming community. If you went on Twitter, everyone knew these people.
Oh yeah, they're like if you guys know the mob now on Twitter.
Yeah, like
Oh my god, those guys are so funny.
like some of the people were like Cray, Enforce, Matthew Rice, who shout out by Face Censor, and just like a bunch of other people like that.
Mhm.
And so it's like everybody knew them on Twitter, and it was just like they weren't massive. They probably had like 12 to like 60K, so they weren't like huge, but they were still pretty big, and they were like my idols at the time. And I was like Sunday night, I think it was in the winter because it was pretty cold, but I was in my basement, literally playing on my brother's PS4, just streaming like BO3 or something, and I was getting no views, like nothing. And I was just like, I was about to end the stream, and I was like, I'll tweet at Cray, like, and I talked to him here and there, like as a fan or whatever, and he was pretty cool, but and so I talked to him here and there, and I tweeted him, I was like, just can you come check out my stream? Like I linked it to him on Twitter, and he came. So
Really?
yeah,
That's so
That's
cool.
so
so Cray came, and he brought Enforce, and he brought Matthew Rise, who shout out by Face Censor. And this is like at the prime of all their channels.
Oh dang, that's sick.
That's
And
actually
I
really cool.
watched all of them except for Enforce. I didn't watch Enforce, but I love Enforce.
You followed
now.
him on
He's-
Twitter though?
Yes. No, but he's my homie now. But yeah, no. So they came, and I was like, I was freaking. I was like, oh my god, it's like Cray, like I was like fanboying so unbelievably hard. And so they came in, they chatted for me, and then they brought all the other big names in the community. So I got rated by AliFX, who had like 60K at the time, was like prime of her channel. so she raided me. I think I got like 50 or 60 viewers just off her raid.
Dang.
And then they brought like Sloth Next, which was another like big guy in the community, and like this is like COD community, gaming community.
Yeah.
So it was like literally everyone I had watched at that time, like my biggest idols, were in my stream, just like, oh, I love your like this, like
That's
I love your
actually
content.
so
and just,
sick.
like,
That's
cool.
awesome.
and I was so overjoyed, and I was freaking out. And then Cray sent me like a huge, like I was getting so happy I started to cry. And then Cray sent me like a huge DM. He was like, just like, love you, brother. Like, keep up the good work and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck. Like it was crazy.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah, that's actually
That's
sick.
actually
yeah,
really
it was
cool.
it was
Yeah.
really cool. And so that night, at the start of that stream, I don't think I was even at 100 subscribers yet, and I was at 200 at the end of that stream. I had 200
Dang.
subscribers
Dang.
at the end of that stream, and I watched it on like the live sub count, and I hit it on stream, and it was crazy. It was a very memorable moment, and so that's what really kicked off my YouTube from like the Minecraft and then into
Yeah.
gaming and all it, and then from there, you know, my upload schedule isn't great, so I haven't been growing too much, but I'm on the rise. I'm coming back into it, and
Yeah.
like my content is good, and obviously like these guys love it, and a lot of people say they like it,
Oh,
but
it's
it's
hilarious.
just
Yeah, I think it's good. I like it.
It's
My-
really funny.
It's really funny.
my upload schedule is just unbelievably bad, so I'm
You're like-
growing unbelievably slowly.
Your
so-
upload schedule is
Yeah.
like a
It's like-
step
it's-
above C-Day. And
yeah.
he uploads like at the beginning of every Fortnite season, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which
And-
sucks because C-Day's hilarious.
But
You upload as much as Vsauce.
but yeah, no. So after that stream, I hit 200, and that was prime of my channel. And my average view count for every single video was 60 to 100 views every
Dang.
single video. Like the lowest I would gain was like 50, if that. And it was just like, and then I stopped uploading for like a month because something happened. I think my game capture broke or something like that. I had to get something fixed, but it took a lot longer. That's what really killed my channel. But I'm coming
Yeah.
back into it, and I'm trying to get that upload schedule going
More
again.
consistent.
Yeah, so I can gain. And I'm
That's
coming up on
really
400
cool.
now, so
Yeah, you're at
Yeah.
388 right now.
yeah, 388.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my origin story. And then obviously I enjoyed film, and so I was looking for stuff to do in school. And I did some like film stuff for my school.
Yeah.
Like I did like one thing for them. And then I found out about this class from someone, I forget who it was, but I found out about from this class, and now I'm here today at CTC doing a podcast
yeah.
and making films with my homies.
Pretty epic
Pretty
origin
epic sauce.
story.
That's actually really good.
That is
Yeah.
really
Thank
good.
you.
That's a really good origin story.
All right.
Try topping that.
Yeah, I don't want to go next. Mine is like so bad.
I'm gonna go last, by the way. Dibs.
All
All right.
Oh, fine. I'll go next. So yeah, so basically my origin story is pretty lame compared to Brady's. Like I'm just like really into sports, and I heard that there was like the sports show here, so I was like that would be really cool to do.
You want to explain the sports show?
Oh yeah,
Like, what
it was
is?
like with like the local like high schools and stuff that like came here and like did like baseball, soccer, like softball, lacrosse. I think we did swimming, golf, tennis. We interviewed like
Yeah.
all like the champions, like the state champions from each school.
So
So like I interviewed my high school who won the CMC like championship
Oh,
last
yeah, yeah.
year.
For what
so
sport?
Baseball, the varsity boys baseball.
yeah, so basically we'd
But,
go
yeah.
to other high schools and like go on their field or something and interview them, or they would come.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
really?
come
People
to
do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had a
went
couple
to,
where
we went to
out on
I
the
didn't
field.
know
the
people did
field, or
that.
they came to like our little
Yeah,
I
so
thought,
we
they,
would-
I
set
thought
up
they just
here.
came here.
So we would interview like coaches or players or whatever.
But yeah, and
Just kinda
I
talk
did
about
like
sports.
stuff like that like at my home school at Middletown. Like I did stuff for my journalism like class and stuff. So I did like play-by-play. We live streamed our home games, so I did play-by-play for the home games and
Oh, nice.
stuff.
What's play-by-play?
Like commentating.
Oh,
You
Over.
know, like
that
when you,
makes
like,
sense.
long fly ball, home run, and like blah blah blah, like that
Yeah.
type of thing. Like
Ba-
when you
like
watch like
when
a
the
game,
announcer.
when you watch,
Yeah,
yeah, basically, yeah, the announcer. So I did
When
that.
you watch sports,
I did
whoever's
that for
talking
the
to you.
home football games,
Which makes sense.
for a while, and then that kind of got me into like the film like kind of like area with doing the play-by-play.
Yeah.
through
And so you came to CTC for the
the sports show,
yeah,
and then
and then
And then I don't even know if I'm really gonna do this like sports anymore. 'Cause like doing like all the other stuff that we do here is like
Yeah,
there's
we've-
so much like more
We-
to like the film industry
Yeah,
than
it's-
people like realize.
Yeah.
Like you
know?
guys originally kind of came like Brady for like
Just film
YouTube
in
and making
general, yeah.
videos, and you came
Yeah.
for like the sports show. Now that we're here, we do a lot. Actually,
Of,
not
like,
a lot.
variety.
Pretty much all outside of the one commercial project last year that was like kind of an
Oh.
introductory thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much all just short films, which you can
Mhm.
check out the best
The Triangle-
ones on Triangle
The Triangle
Studios,
yeah.
which is linked
yeah.
on our other channels page.
Mm-hmm.
And in the description.
Yeah, some of them are bangers, like Disco Chapter 2 Agents of the Law.
Oh my god.
Or Dixon.
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 Ticonderoga.
Dixon is the
Ticonderoga.
greatest film to ever come out of CTC, second only to Disco Chapter 2 Agents of the Law.
I single-handedly put my life force into that video.
When's the second part coming?
I
It's
don't
gotta come
know.
out soon, right?
I've gotten the
Well, we haven't filmed
script
it
all
yet.
written out, but we haven't filmed anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Just
we
gotta
not
find
gonna
like a
mention-
dry spot in between videos.
Yeah,
where, like
I
once we
think
finish
so.
filming something, like our current project that we're working on right now, we're in production of a murder mystery, which
So basically,
It's like 30 pages long.
it's
Yeah.
a 30-page script,
it's very
very dialogue
very
heavy.
dialogue heavy, and
It's really
yeah.
good. We've got a god tier plot.
It's essentially like, oh, someone killed this person,
And then
Lo-
it's like
let's
the
lock them in the
wild-
room, and then
Well, they lock themselves in the room.
It's like
and
the
I-
wild
Yeah,
figure it
so,
out.
you know,
like
it's
how
one of
to
those
who's
type
the
of-
Don't
real
give out
murderer,
spoilers, guys.
Like that
Ah,
type thing.
yeah.
But yeah, that's,
This is
and
like-
then, like I did like the sports stuff, and then I like was really into photography, and I did a lot of that stuff, like nature photography, and stuff like that. So, but that's basically what got me in, like film and stuff like that.
Nice.
So not as good as Brady's origin story.
I don't
No
think
one
anybody
would
could
give it
top
still.
being
No
rated
one.
by
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
8 different famous streamers.
Yeah.
Like, unless you get like a shout out from Leonardo DiCaprio or something,
Yeah.
or like RDJ.
Or like the Irwins or something.
Leonardo
with
DiCaprio's on the
photography.
red carpet. He's just like, go check out this kid's YouTube channel. It's just like,
Yeah, you guys should go check out
He's
the Real
interviewed,
Talk
like, at the
podcast on
office, like,
YouTube
go check out this kid's YouTube.
and Spotify.
All right.
Yeah, so that's
All right.
that's mine.
So
Is it
Luke,
my
you're
turn?
up.
It's Luke's
All
turn.
right, so my story, my origin story, is kind of a culmination of a few different things. Okay, Asian audio man. So
Wait, do we want to get Asian audio man's
We can
yeah,
origin
after-
story
after
too after
Luke's.
you're done?
Yeah, we
af-
can get it
Luke,
after
we gotta
mine.
get-
all right, so my origin story, it starts off. I growing up was
I growing
really
up.
big. I growing up.
God tier grammar right there.
It was a
From
dark
the
and
man himself,
stormy
Luke
night.
Melby. Can we get a round of applause for that? Professionally spoken English.
So growing up,
That
That was loud.
definitely.
It didn't keep the audio. I can see.
growing up, I was really big into reading and like reading stories, and my
Nerd.
favorite.
I was too until 5th grade, and then I just dropped it.
I
my
hate books.
favorite.
I can't read.
I do too.
My
Now,
favorite
Please.
author
Let's
was
let
easily
Luke.
Roald Dahl.
the only thing
He
I'll
was the
read now is a
best.
script.
And so anyway,
Silence.
I was really big into reading. I was a bit of a nerd, and I was also, for some reason, naturally just good at computers. Like I could.
Like you understood.
When you say
like,
good
yes.
at
computers
computers,
and
do you
stuff?
mean building them, playing computer games, or like just
Computers
anything
in
to
general.
do with a computer?
Because I was like 6 years old when I started playing on my parents' computer with the Windows XP. Oh no, it was Windows. It was Windows Vista or whatever.
Mhm.
And I remember I would always go on there, and we had, I think it was just like the very start of Amazon, and there was also the very start of YouTube and things like that. And so, there's actually this story. I bought something off of Amazon without my parents knowing when I was like 6 years old.
Nice.
It was a volcano shirt, and I gave
A
it to my little
volcano
brother because it was actually too small for me.
I'm gonna.
That's funny.
I've got my little brother once did. This was maybe 2 years ago when Clash Royale was still really big.
Yeah.
When Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, all the Clash games were in for like the 3rd time. Because you know how those games work is they're popular for one school year and then
Then,
not
like,
for
the
2
next
years,
year
and
they're
then
not.
it's the rage for the next year, and then it kind of dies again, and then it gets brought back. It was a couple years ago. My mom randomly is like looking at her credit card bill, and she's like, what is this $100 charge from Clash Royale?
Oh.
And my little brother's like,
$100.
I don't know. We look on his phone and he's got like 15,000 of the gems,
Oh.
which
I know.
coincidentally
I know
enough,
this
you
is
can buy
ridiculous.
14,000 of them for $100. So we're like,
Oh, no.
Just
Griffin, I wonder who it
crucified.
was.
That's terrible.
Oh, that sucks. All right, so I started off, good at computers, and then to continue on to that, my dad was always like really big into movies. So like in our basement, we have chairs and we have like a projector.
Like the movie theater.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
set up,
we have a
with,
movie
like the
theater type
recliners
set up
and
in
like
the
the kind of
basement.
like
My friend
yeah.
had that.
My neighbor
So
has that, and I always get to watch movies in it when I go babysit for them.
Yeah, my neighbor
Yeah,
has
it's
one of those
awesome.
things. They're
It's
nice.
so sick.
They're actually kind of cool. They have like
So-
a popcorn maker. My neighbor does.
Yeah,
Oh,
so does
that's
my neighbor.
awesome.
It's like
Yeah, so my dad has always been like super big into movies. So I always watched like a ton of movies. And so then that culminating with me like being I love to tell stories and I love to read stories. So like I was a big reader and eventually I started writing my own like stories.
Mhm.
And in fact, this was like 5 or 6 years ago. I wrote my own book, and
Oh,
I
word?
published it on Amazon,
Oh,
and
my
it's
Lord.
still
Oh,
on
haven't you
Amazon
showed
to
this to
this
us?
day.
Oh,
What's it
yeah.
called? I'm
And
gonna
it
find
sucks.
it.
What's it called?
What's it
It's
called?
Sucks.
It's called the Dragon Journal
Hold on.
or Frederick Saver of Dragons.
The Dragon Journal.
Yeah, it's really bad. Nobody buy it, please. But
I kind of
at-
want to
how
buy
long
it
is
just
it?
to.
Yeah.
once
Just to see.
it's like 50 pages long, and the font size is like 50 or 60.
Oh wait.
I think it has
Wait.
a preview in it.
I searched the Dragon Journal, and it literally just comes up with a bunch of journals with dragons on the front. What's it?
Type in Dragon Journal Luke Melby. That's it.
No,
The Asian audio man got it.
Here,
Oh,
wait,
is that
let me
on
see.
sale?
Let me see.
Is it on sale right
Wait a
now?
minute.
It is on sale.
It's on
By
sale,
Luke
folks.
by Luke Harris Melby
Holy
so-
crap!
Let me see this.
What
or
the hell?
Frederick Saver of Dragons.
But so this book,
It's on sale. It's Prime eligible.
Prime
So that
eligible.
means
I
it's
will probably
good.
buy it.
This
not gonna
book-
lie.
$7.
we
Oh,
could
that's
have
good.
we could have an audiobook reading because
Oh
it probably
my
takes
God.
10
God.
minutes.
Special episode.
Okay, but so
Look out for that in the not too distant future. We will have an audiobook version of the
All right,
Dragon
here-
Journal
here's
or
this.
Frederick Saver of Dragons,
Yo, look at this,
written
dude.
by Luke Harris Melby, our very
book-
own.
this book
This is awesome.
was a bestseller on Amazon.
Yeah, let's
What?
see this
For-
product description.
Really?
Yes,
When
it was a
Frederick's father
bestseller.
is killed, he has to bring peace to the wizards and dragons. An action-packed novel full of dragons and wizards. About the author, 13-year-old Luke Melby has been working on writing books
Jeez.
since he
We don't
was
need
3.
to. We don't need to. This is,
No, you
that's
can't.
enough.
Let's see. We've got a 5-star review.
That's awesome.
Breathtaking fantasy by Luke. Did Keanu Reeves review your book? It's breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
You're
No,
breathtaking.
All
I
of the
think this is
reviews
from your
are
mom.
5. Unless you guys want to give me a 5-star review, in which case, please. Buy
I
it.
have been in Luke's class for 3 years. I think that's probably supposed to say Luke's. I've been in Luke's class for 3 years, and he is an excellent writer. His latest, The Dragon Journal, or Frederick Saver of Dragons, is a breathtaking fantasy of the adventures of Frederick that you most definitely need to read.
Oh, I know who that kid was.
I'm actually
But-
hyped now. I need to
okay.
read this book.
So anyway,
Just kidding. I hate reading.
all of this, like me telling stories and me loving movies because my dad loved movies, and then me being good at computers, it all culminated into like this urge inside of me to just make movies, but I didn't really know when to start. So 8 years ago, in 2011, I was
This ought to be good.
9 years old. I finally convinced, it was probably 2010, when I convinced my parents to let me get, it was like, I think it was a really crappy laptop. Like, it was probably $50. It was really,
yikes.
it was small.
Was it worse than the school Chromebooks?
Oh, yeah. It was super
The school
slow.
Chromebooks that we're using as a reference are insanely bad, by the way.
They're so slow. This computer was really, really slow.
We're looking at the art
Found
of,
chapter
The art?
of Luke's book.
The art.
Wait, it's
you
only-
don't have to look at the art. It's
It's
not.
only $2.50?
Dragon.
That's the Kindle edition.
That would make
The
sense. Why this
Kindle
is such a
edition?
weird
I added a
layout.
Kindle
Oh
edition.
my god.
Bruh, this man went
How
all out.
How did I
did.
never hear about
I
this?
heard
until
about
now?
this at the beginning of last year. I just completely forgot because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
But
And
so-
it was like a one-off thing. Like, hey, I have a book on Amazon.
I got this.
Jesus.
That's awesome.
I also
That's
had
so
So
cool.
good.
a newspaper article written about me, which got picked up by the Washington Post. So
Really?
What?
So
Dude.
take that origin story,
Brady, you've
Well,
got some
damn.
competition now.
All
The
right.
Washington
And so-
Post versus 6 separate COD YouTubers. Who will win in the amount of people that read their stuff in today's day and age? I don't know because newspapers are kind of getting irrelevant.
But they weren't.
They
back
weren't in
then.
2010.
That's
That is
crazy.
true.
Back in
Wow.
the
But
day,
so in
yeah.
2011, I got my own computer, and
Luke's like, I don't want to go, and then he just pulls this out of his ass.
Yeah, I know,
started-
right?
I started
Buddy coming out of left field with this goated origin story.
yeah, and so it had like it had a tiny little camera, probably worse than the ones on our Chromebooks, which are like maybe like 12 to 14p.
If not.
This is the first
So-
year I've even gotten one with a camera.
And the frame rate was, I think, like, I'm not kidding,
10?
like 10 frames per second.
Oh my
Like
God.
if you look at my videos, it's like 10
Oh
frames
my
per
lord.
second.
Oh my! It's like stop motion, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
even more stuffed.
And so it also this recorder, it also had a function to upload to YouTube. So I made my own YouTube channel at the ripe young age of 9 years old. And I started
Wow.
uploading videos. My first video is called Dude Versus, and I wanted to make a TV show about a guy who
Oh my
faced
lord.
off against a bunch of invisible things because I didn't have the budget for real things.
That's
Fair.
so good.
Fair.
And-
That's awesome.
Watch YouTube take your channel down now that you've admitted you started it when you were too young.
Well, no. It was monitored by my parents, kind of like Keemstar, you know.
Wait, Keemstar's monitored by his
Keemstar?
parents?
No, Keemstar. His channel has to be technically owned by someone else.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because he.
Yeah, mine is technically
some
owned by
stuff.
my parents. But anyway, so I just started making videos on this with my friends and stuff, and my YouTube channel is still up to this day, and I have like a consistent like 1 year ago, 2 year ago, 3 year ago, and so
schedule.
yeah, about 3 years ago, I started getting into animation based off of you know, like the Odd Ones Out, It's Alex Clark,
Yeah.
Yep.
that
yeah.
community.
Yeah, I love
I've
those
kind of
guys.
Odd Ones Out is really
yeah,
good.
I've kind of stopped watching them, but so I got into that, and then
I want to do animation.
so
That
there's
was
a
fun.
guy
Mhm.
that
I'm
I
shit at
used to
drawing.
watch
It's.
in the like the glory days of YouTube called Alan Becker, and he did the animation.
He's not related to me. I don't know anyone named Alan.
Animator versus animation. Those videos, if you've ever seen them, they're really, really
Is that like the
top-notch
stick
videos.
figures? Like
Yeah, and they fight on like
and
the
they like
computer.
fight
screen.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, so I don't know if you guys did this, but back in the day, around the time when we were doing Ugly Doll videos, my brother also did a thing called like Pivot, where it was
love
it was stick figure animation, and so you would make a landscape, and you would put little stick figures on it, and you'd put them different colors. You can add swords, and you could like you could have them chop their heads off.
That's
And it
cool.
was really hard to do, but my brother did it, and he was pretty decent at it. So he made these little. This is around the same time as the Ugly Doll videos. He made these
Mhm.
little like pivot stick animation videos where they just like
really
fought, and that was a pretty big thing back in the day.
See, nowadays you can literally go download 3D models
Yeah.
of like Iron Man
It's
or something
crazy
that
to
are
think how
insanely
far-
accurate and
Yeah.
program them to look like photorealistic almost.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think
Just
how far
from
things
your
have come.
computer in After Effects. It's insane.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like when we started, the only thing we had was like the little, like literally pivot stick animation. The only thing you could really do was change the colors of the stick figures. Like that was probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It was just like it's crazy to think how far things have come in
Mhm.
that sense.
Yeah.
So my first like short film that I made, it was 2 years ago. Geez, that's not that long ago. And so before that, I made a lot of videos, but I didn't really understand like how movies worked. And then one day it just clicked in my head. I remember it clicked in my head that you can have things from different camera angles and then have them like moving in the shot, and then I can cut to a different camera angle and still have them moving. And so that just like opened the door to me because
Yeah.
I started like with I started learning Cinema 4D and After Effects, but I didn't know how to make like short films. And then I asked for a camera for, it was either my birthday or Christmas. And so I got this little cheap camcorder. And yeah, I made my first short film, which you can watch on my YouTube channel. It's called Luke Melby, and it's the one with the flash icon. LUKEMELBY.
What do you look?
That's
When
a-
you say Flash, you mean the superhero, not
Yes.
like a camera flash or something.
No,
it's
it-
the superhero, the
superhero,
Flash.
the
logo.
flash icon.
So
Brady just exclaimed
I-
silently. He has something to share.
He's discovering something.
so I just looked at my channel, and my oldest video was 5 years ago. I thought it was 3.
Dang.
Yeah.
It is
fi-
Wait,
5 years
it's
old.
Braden?
Yes, like on my channel now. My very
Oh,
first
word.
video I've
What is
ever
it?
made on my channel
It's
was
the
it was the
Minecraft
fun, it
one.
was
Oh,
Funny
the
Moments
Minecraft one?
Funny
Oh.
Moments Minecraft episode 1.
but it's 5 years old.
Dang.
I thought it was 3. Like,
Yeah, well, mine is 8.
oh,
crazy,
that
right?
yeah, that just
Dang.
That is crazy.
that
insane.
blows
That's
my
tough,
mind.
dude. That's really
Yeah.
tough.
So how old was I then?
5 years ago. What? You're 16.
I'm 16
right?
now,
You were
yeah.
11.
I was So I started my channel as 11. Yeah. So my videos are 3 years old. Or 5 years old. I forgot. to add that.
Gangsta moment.
That's insane.
Jesus.
Epic
Wow.
sauce
Okay, that's.
You're
Jeez.
like
Man.
jaw dropped. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
Braden found
I
something.
this whole time I thought it was 3, but I just looked. I was like, oh my god. I literally, my mouth just like dropped. Yeah, but besides like YouTube as a job or something, one thing I would definitely want to try is I don't know if I know you guys watch Corridor Digital.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I love
Corridor Crew is the best channel
Yeah,
on YouTube. No
definitely.
cap.
So
Easily.
Corridor Crew come on the podcast, you know. that's
Dude,
the-
how awesome would that
Imagine.
be? They have their
Um,
own podcast.
Do they
Dude,
really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
the Corridor Cast.
Am I
If you go-
smelling
if
a
you go to their
collaboration?
if you go to their featured channels on any of their like 6 different Corridor Cinematic Universe channels, they it's linked
Yeah, I did not
there.
know that they had a podcast.
I
but,
didn't either until they
Yeah, so
brought it up
shout
in a
out
video.
shout out to Corridor Digital and
Corridor
Corridor
makes
Crew.
amazing content.
Just Corridor in general. I feel like that's the same. It's the same type of environment as the class that we're in now.
Wait, hold on. Everybody go around and say what your favorite Corridor video is.
Oh.
Mine's easily Tactical Reloads, the first one.
Tactical.
Tactical Reloads, the first one.
Oh, I gotta think. Corridor Crew or just Corridor?
Just Corridor, like the main Corridor channel where they put all the videos that they
I
make.
don't know, dude.
The Boston Dynamics one was cool.
Boston.
Yeah,
I like the
robots.
Boston Dynamics one. That one
That
was
was
that
really
one was
probably one of my
entertaining.
favorites.
Yeah, I'd probably say Boston Dynamics one.
Clint, I follow him on Instagram from Corridor, teased that they're making a second one of the Boston Dynamics thing. I actually saw a clip from that on Instagram. Like someone actually thought it was real. Like on one of the
yeah.
Instagram clip channel or accounts,
Yeah.
there was a clip of that. Someone thought it was real, which is so cool.
Yeah, I thought it was real.
Like I was like,
because
holy
didn't-
crap, that's Corridor.
Yeah.
I saw that the other day.
I didn't watch Corridor originally, so like that was
Yeah, no, I found the Crew channel first.
yeah. Oh
Me
no,
too.
Although
I,
I'd seen some
I-
of their videos before, I just didn't really realize.
yeah. I'd seen their videos like on recommended here and there or whatever.
Yeah.
But I never actually watched them, and so when I saw it on like social media originally, I thought it was like real for a second. I mean, I
Yeah.
assumed it was like CGI or whatever.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that it was Corridor who did it.
Yeah.
But yeah. All
Is
right.
it Asian Audio
Yeah,
Man Michael's turn?
All right,
Michael,
Asian
you wanna
Audio
go
Man,
next?
use
Give
my
us your
microphone.
origin
Tell us
story.
your origin story. Actually, no, it was probably the PUBG movie. The PUBG movie was good. On
Yeah,
the Corridor
I think
channel.
I think I saw that one before too, and then I was like, oh hey, that was those guys.
Yeah.
right.
Alrighty.
Let's
Can we get a warm welcome for
Yeah, I was just
Asian
about to
Audio
say
Man
that.
Michael?
Yes.
welcome to the mic.
Feels good.
How's it feel to be at the big boy table?
Feels pretty good, honestly.
Not just locked in your cell with the audio.
See, this is actually a trick. Luke, you're on audio duty now. Michael is now
Yeah,
on the
forever.
podcast.
Yeah.
You guys don't want me to one up you with my origin
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just wait for mine, buddy.
All right. So, what's your origin
might
story?
come out. Okay, so I mean, kind of like you, Brady, I've always watched YouTube videos,
Mhm.
and I was huge into Stampy Longhead and his
Oh,
Minecraft videos. But in middle school, because I was homeschooled up until 8th grade,
So
Oh, really?
like
I did not know that.
I didn't
Yeah.
know, I didn't know that either.
I had a really
That's
hard
cool.
time talking to people and making new friends. So I took up like magic tricks in
That's
middle school.
how you
Like
really?
like
That's how you
card
got
tricks.
into-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
'cause
Like-
He's shown me a couple.
Like
yeah,
card
he
tricks.
does like the disappear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
But,
didn't know
like-
that. I've never seen you do that. We've got cards in there
He's
for
good. You're
the
good
poker
at it.
set for our
You're
video.
good at that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Show me
I'm
one
pretty
after we
rusty
finish.
now, but
Well,
Back-
with,
probably
like,
better
the
than
back
anything
in,
I
like,
could do.
like,
8th
flipping it out is
grade,
pretty good.
like I was that really helped me be able to talk to people and
Yeah.
actually interact. But anyway, because I did magic and I was seeing all these people doing YouTube videos, I would take my little like iPod Touch, the 5th generation,
Yeah.
and then I'd like vertically film me doing some sort of card
Oof.
flourish, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'd also film tutorials and then post them on YouTube, and then put them to some stupid like stock music.
Royalty free music.
Yeah.
And then,
That's
but
the way
and
to
they were
do it.
all like 30 seconds long.
Mm.
But I thought it was so cool. And then the first one I ever put on got like 100 views.
Dang.
Yeah.
For a first video,
Pretty
that's
good.
pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
was
the
like-
magic culture on YouTube is a pretty niche community, and
Yeah,
they support
yeah.
like when
They
there's
support
some
each other.
yeah,
really
and
well.
also it's also just like a lot of people.
Ah. Start from I feel like the magic community.
Yeah, so I feel like the magic community is it's a very like niche community, and they all kind of support each other, or whether it just be like people are looking for tutorials on how to do magic tricks, and so they find videos.
Yeah, there was a huge like boost in magic tutorials, especially
Yeah.
with there was this channel called Disturb Reality, and he had like
Yeah.
1.5 million subscribers, and that's where I learned a lot of my magic tricks. But then I also came out with some myself, and then I read books and stuff.
Yeah, like the little like magic like books that like tell you how
Yeah.
to do the tricks. Yeah.
But I was never real big into buying like the magic sets because I thought those were kind of
Lame.
lame. Yeah, I was
feel
really
like card magic is
Yeah.
the cool.
I was
yeah,
really
because you
good
don't
at
you don't
card
need to buy
magic.
anything special. Deck of cards. is
Yeah.
like-
Or
Yeah.
like
And that's
a
more
dollar.
flashy sometimes too.
Oh yeah,
It's more,
and it's
like,
easy. 'Cause you can just
entertaining.
carry a deck of cards and be like, hey, yeah.
Or like that one really cool guy on YouTube who's like drinking alcohol.
Steve will do it.
Yeah, Steve.
Dude,
no,
G-
Oh, have you
no,
seen the guy
boys?
that
No,
did,
no,
like,
not,
the,
no. Not Steve will do it, but it's a magician where he's like
Oh.
drinking alcohol, and a cop walks up to him like, "Oh, like you can't be drinking out," and he's like, "Oh, I'm not. I put it in the bag, and that's just not there."
Oh,
He's like,
Zach King.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh,
Zach
"Oh,
King- dude,
I'm
Zach
pranking
King-
cops,"
Have you
or
seen like
whatever.
the
For
one
6
with
second
like the
videos.
Zach King is like a professional editor.
There was,
It's
like-
insane how much stuff he can
There
do.
was like a guy that did like a trick with like a cigarette type thing where like he would put like the orange part in his mouth. It was like supposed to go in your mouth. And he'd like look down and light it and like flip around like all. And he couldn't like get it in his mouth like the right way. It was actually really good.
But
So around that time, I was making 30-second YouTube videos. I was huge into writing stories, which I guess kind of helps me make like write scripts now. But so I was big into writing stories, and then my freshman year in high school, I took digital photography, so that got me used to using cameras and stuff. And then my freshman year, I shadowed this program to potentially do it my sophomore year, but then I just felt like I wasn't ready, and I wanted to spend more time at my home school. And then I shadowed it again my sophomore year for my junior year, and then I was enrolled my junior year.
yeah.
no, we're
That's
here.
pretty nice.
Also, I don't know if you guys did this or not, but like when I was younger, like what me and my brothers do, we made like comic books and stuff. Did you guys ever do that?
Like make one.
yeah, like literally.
I did that.
We would sketch
once.
out like a comic book, and then we literally fold the paper and staple it together, so we'd have literally
have, like, a
our own
little
like
comic
comic
book.
books that we made.
I think I tried to do that like once because when I was younger, I was like big into drawing. Like when I was
Yeah,
when I
of
was
course.
really little, my dad and I would sit and draw for like hours, and I just kind of like stopped
Yeah.
because I don't know, I just did. And it's like it is weird because kind of like Michael said, I can't stand writing. Like in English, I can't stand writing essays. It is the worst. But for some reason, writing scripts is like enjoyable.
Well, because it's for something that
Well,
you
yeah,
want
because
to
it's
do.
for something that I actually like, and it's about something that I actually like.
Yeah.
I
most
think
of the
part of the
time.
reason why it's so enjoyable is because it's all coming from your own head. It's like
That's
you
true.
can create
Yeah,
your
that's
own
true.
story.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
not
have to-
like
you don't have to
here,
do
write an
science.
essay
You don't have
about
to
why
write
healthy
about-
food in schools is
Yeah,
important.
you don't have to
Okay,
like
well,
write
I
an essay
couldn't
on
care any
Thomas
less
Johnson.
about that.
Yeah.
Thomas
So-
Jefferson, sorry.
It's like
Yeah,
you create
exactly.
your
Stuff
own
like that.
world.
All right, so my origin story starts. I was about 6 or 7, and my parents were murdered in an alley. No, just kidding. I'm not Batman. No, mine starts
Comedy.
in. What'd you say?
It's like comedy, ladies and gentlemen.
That was peak comedy right there.
comedy gold.
Cue the laugh track.
Ah.
No, I'm
Oh.
actually gonna put a laugh track.
Yeah, I
into that.
know. I realized that.
No, mine starts in eighth grade. Eighth grade in English class.
Uh-huh.
We had a project where we had a choice between a couple of things about like a book that we all would like read
Yeah.
because it's English class in middle
What,
school.
you read essay on it or something?
Yeah, but we had
Yeah.
options, and one of those
Oh, okay, yeah.
one of those options was to make a video kind of continuing the story
Oh, yeah.
of the book.
The projects
So-
where it's like make a video, they're always so glitched. I'm like, I can do that in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's
so-
fun.
So me and 2 of my friends did that, and the book's called, the series is called Alex Rider. If you guys have ever read that, it's
That
like
sounds familiar.
it's like a
I
kid.
read
He's
that.
like a kid spy thing. They made a movie about it. I don't think the movie got great reviews. Somebody can look it up now. It's called Stormbreaker.
I enjoyed the movie.
I enjoyed the movie. Oh, they made comics too? Oh, really?
a Stormbreaker comic.
I didn't know that. Anyway, so we it wasn't Stormbreaker specifically. We just kind of the one that we continued the story for.
Oh.
It wasn't that one specifically. That's just the first one and the one they made a movie about.
From 2006.
What's the reviews looking like? Rotten
34%
Tomatoes?
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
5.1.
amazing.
Oof.
Yeah, so we kind of did a story continuation of that. Filmed it on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Of course, for those of you that don't know me, action movies are like my thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I do best.
He's
It's
the
what I
Tom
enjoy
Cruise of the
doing,
class.
and I will take that compliment because Tom Cruise is an epic gamer. So this project, it's the books are like action books because that's what I
Yeah.
read, because that's what I enjoy, at least to read the most, even though I don't really enjoy reading anymore. So we're continuing. We went to one of my friend's houses, and we're filming on his deck and in his backyard. We've got like spring airsoft guns.
Yeah.
Filming on his deck with an iPhone. We're like running around back. It's like nighttime. You probably couldn't even see anything. The footage was probably super grainy, but it was a blast. Like we had a ton of fun filming this. There might have even been a fight scene in this. I know one of my one friend played. Why are we smiling?
I don't know.
I don't know why we're
He's just
smiling.
moving his chair a bunch.
And my one friend played Alex Rider, the main character. I'm pretty sure I was the bad guy. But I honestly don't remember. I'm pretty sure I was though. Because Alex Rider's blonde and I'm not, so I definitely wasn't gonna play him.
Yeah.
And then we edited this on the same phone in iMovie. And
Oh,
then my
yeah.
one friend found this app. I'm gonna look it up right now. It was this app where you could add like action, like visual effects
I
elements.
think I know exactly what
into
you're
it.
talking about.
So we had like
I know
bullet
what you're
hits
talking
hitting the
about.
ground, and there was like
Oh, I
at the
know.
end of this there was like a nuclear missile silo
Yeah.
that opened up.
Holy.
I know
That
Uh,
one wasn't it made for Mission Impossible or something?
I think so.
I don't think so.
They did it. They had the car flipping and
Yep.
roll-
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. The spider one.
The
Yes.
helicopter crashing into the ground.
Yeah, there was like the ape that like threw a car
Yeah,
or
I'd
something.
look it up on the App Store, but I don't get service in this
That
room.
was top tier app.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty cool.
we edited it in that, and I mean that project was great. We were very proud of how that turned out. We thought it was very good. And then later in the year, same year, 8th grade English. 8th grade English was a god tier year for me. I loved 8th grade English. I had a good teacher, and it was actually fun. English class was fun. Same thing with 10th grade English. Shout out Miss G for being like the best teacher.
She's
Ever?
a G.
Oh man.
Oh no.
You're excused.
Cue
Leave
laugh
it out.
track.
That was,
Cue laugh track.
I'm not putting a laugh track in there. No. Seriously though, Miss G was a god tier teacher. So anyway, eighth grade English. We had the last unit of the year was like the hero's journey, and we were reading like the Odyssey or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Which-
yeah.
Again, I had fun with because, again, for those of you that don't know me, superhero movie, TV, whatever, love it, awesome, great. Superheroes are like the best. And that was like our last unit, and then our video project was to make like literally make a superhero movie
Mhm.
was our project, which
That's
is the
epic.
most
Is
god
that
tier
kind of what,
project.
That's awesome.
Got you into like the fight scenes? type
Oh no,
things?
I
Were you
already like that.
were you already
Action
into that
action
stuff?
movies have always been my thing. Like from,
Okay.
I wouldn't say day one, but like once I started watching
Once
them,
you like saw like action
once I
movies, you're
started
like, oh,
watching
this is
them,
awesome.
action movies were my thing,
Hmm.
and I mean I appreciate them even more now because I know how much work it takes to
Yeah.
how much
to
actually
get
goes into
the
it.
guy flipping through the mirror in the bathroom or
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so our project is to literally make a superhero movie, but it had to like the criteria was it had to like include Odysseus as a character. So we've
Mhm.
got my one friend was the same friend that did the Alex Rider thing with me. Played Deadpool, which like $30 Deadpool Halloween costume from Amazon, plastic katanas. We had another kid in a Gumby suit.
Nice.
Like the big green
Nice.
character.
Yeah.
We had one kid as he had like hot sauce, and that was like his thing where it was like acidic hot sauce or something, and he'd like
Nice.
throw hot sauce at people. We had the one kid played Odysseus. Shit, we had another person, but I can't remember for the life of me what the character was, and I played Batman.
Mhm.
So let me tell you about this Batman suit real quick. This was like a latex whatever Batman cowl from Amazon.
On Action Movie FX. That's
Yep.
what it was called.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
Yeah.
it basically was just a bunch of like stock
Preset,
green
yep.
green screen like.
I don't even think it was green
Things.
screen. It was like a drag and drop your
Well,
footage
yeah.
in, and it puts it over.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But yeah, so to have like car
Yeah.
flips and helicopter crashes.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I just.
yeah, no, you're good. And I played Batman in this, and this was Batman versus Superman had come out the year before, right? This is
this?
junior year, but this was towards the end of the year, so that'd be 2020.
Like 3
That'd be 4 years ago. So yeah, Batman versus Superman had come out that year.
Mhm.
So I went with the Batman versus Superman kind of Batman look because, I mean, even still as much whatever as it gets with the big muscle suit, I think the overall design of the suit is
Pretty
not
good.
terrible. Like
Yeah.
it looks okay.
It's
The
okay,
gold
yeah.
on the gauntlets looks cool.
Mhm.
I like the short ears on the mask.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've got this like crappy mask that's meant for people with a way smaller head than me, so it was impossible to get my head into this thing. The nose was like bent because it was like flattened when it was shipped. I literally had dark gray like long john underwear, like skin tight to my legs,
Nice.
and like just a gray shirt that was about the same color. And I made the Batman symbol out of duct tape. Like cut it and folded it and drew
Yeah.
it with like a silver Sharpie. And then I put like you know how he's got all the little like seam lines on his
Yeah.
abs? I did all of that with like duct tape. I had an actual like cape on and this cowl, and I used a gun, even though Batman doesn't use guns because I mean
Doesn't he in Batman versus Superman?
no, he has like a grapple gun. I think
yeah,
I think there's the one scene where he comes up through the ground. He might like grab someone's gun and like spray
Yeah.
it. But he doesn't carry a gun. I carried a gun, like my airsoft.
Yeah.
It's actually, if you go watch Disco Chapter 2, Agents of the Law, it is the black pistol that I use in the third act of that, just minus the silencer that I put on it. Which, by the way, the silencer in
Mhm.
that is a piece of black insulated tubing.
Yeah.
But hey,
looks-
from
it
more
looked
than 3
okay.
feet away, it looks good.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Anyway, so we do this, and we filmed a lot of this in school. So I'm running around the school dressed as Batman. Oh man, that was so fun because there'd be kids would
With
come
your
out of classrooms
guns.
to go to the. I didn't bring a gun to school.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I
was
only used the
strapped
gun
in
in
the
the
halls.
end. We used the computer lab. There was a part where we had to jump out of a plane to get to where we were going because when you're in 8th grade making a school project, that's feasible, jumping out of a plane.
Yeah.
Of course.
So we used the computer lab as the plane.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, we're like jumping out the door and like down to the ground, and the camera would like just go up, so it looks like we're jumping out of it. Just kidding, no, it doesn't. And we're filming the end. We filmed the end of this. Oh, we had my little brothers play Robin, both of them, because one of them was originally playing him. And then he had to go eat dinner, so we got my other little brother. We got my other little brother to come out because they were both little, so they looked relatively similar. Their hair is similar color. So we got the other one, and we just did a switcheroo, and it was so funny. I distinctly remember we had him standing there because he had a long line, and we just had the camera and his script right behind the camera. He was just standing there, looking off to the side, reading his line off. Anyway, so it's the final act of this is me versus Deadpool, which is my friend. I'm playing Batman again. We're just, I know what time it is. We're just making our way up my street. He's got like swords, and I don't even remember what I was fighting him off with. And we're fighting. We go down the hill, and we're like just in the middle of the street in my neighborhood. And we're sitting there. Deadpool had just come out as well, and I watched that, and I liked the counting bullets thing, so we decided to include that. And it's so funny. The friend that plays Deadpool, still to this day, occasionally he'll just randomly go 5, because it was the most memorable thing from that. Was I would do that. I'm counting my bullets. I've got my cape up in front of me like this, like if Batman like swings his cape around, and I've got the gun over. I'm like 4, 5, 6. It was man, that's
awesome.
That's what originally got me like into it, and then eventually I started, because I've had so much fun doing that, making with our like crappy old video camera. Like we did, what did we do? Because I was also super into James Bond towards like the end of middle school and like the beginning of high school.
Yep.
GoldenEye, grinded that game every day. Just kidding. I just continually 1v1 with my friend on the same map.
Yep.
That's the way to do it.
It was the nightclub map. I remember that. I could still hop into that map and I'd know my way around. I played it that much. We'd do the same thing. We did this like 3 times, where we'd start across the street and we'd just kind of like make our way through the house with like guns and stuff. I had like this tan suit on. And it was so fun. It was terrible, but it was fun. We're sitting there with our airsoft guns.
This is a game, or
no.
Oh,
We're filming this as a video.
okay.
We did this a couple times, and there'd be an explosion. We'd have to dive out of the way.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I was like, I want to do like a Batman versus Superman movie, because I mean, as not great as it is, when it came out, I watched Batman versus Superman. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. I really like that. This was also the same time I was getting into Arrow, around the same year. Arrow's just, dude, it's a god tier show. But I'm not gonna get started on that because we don't have enough time for me to rave about Arrow.
Yeah.
So we make this with the kids that live up the street from me, who are like a lot younger than I am. So we've got the one kid in jeans and a short sleeve Superman shirt and a cape playing Superman.
Yeah. And
I'm just same Batman costume. And there's a lot of construction in my neighborhood, like new houses being built and stuff.
Those are the best to film in.
Yeah, and so they had this truck parked across the street from us, like a flatbed. We decided to go out and film at night on top of this flatbed, like a fight scene. I spray painted a rock to be the kryptonite, like dark green spray paint. We're sitting there fighting on top of the truck. And we actually did finish that, and it turned out pretty bad now that I'm thinking about it. But again, at the time,
At the time,
I
it
was like,
amazing.
oh wow,
Like,
that's
it was,
really
like, the
cool.
best thing
I'm
ever, yeah.
Batman, dude. That's sick.
I'm Batman.
And then we also did a
I'm
thing. It was like
Batman.
just a straight up action movie. We finished this, but the file ended up getting lost.
Oh,
It
no.
was like
Rest in peace.
it was called like Black Ops Dawn of the Ninja or something. Where basically
Yeah, the most
I was wearing my
12-year-old
Halloween
name.
costume, which was just Deadshot from Suicide Squad. And I was like this agent that died in battle. And then I came back as this like ninja guy that ended up being the bad guy. And it was like my little brother as like the protagonist. And it was just a straight up copy of like any cool move or cool thing you see in a movie. He had like bulletproof gauntlets, and we had him like slow-mo
Yeah,
deflect a
block
bullet
the-
like Wonder
Yeah.
Woman does. I had in the end a bow for some reason because arrow. So we finished that, and we actually had, because we do a block party every year. One year at the block party, somebody brought out a projector, and we like played these things on somebody's
nice.
garage
Yeah,
door.
viewing party.
Yeah,
kinda
like a
thing.
showing.
Mhm.
So that kind of led into, well, I wanted to make a Green Arrow movie because Arrow has been my favorite like media, like piece of media for probably 4 years now since I
Yeah.
started watching it. And I was like, oh, I want to do this. So I actually made a Green Arrow suit, which I wore in the Robin Hood video.
Mhm.
That's not on YouTube. No one's gonna see that.
I thought that was on YouTube.
It's not on YouTube, and I'm never posting that on YouTube. That is
that was
embarrassing.
pretty solid.
It was solid for when we made it.
It was really fun
anyway,
to shoot. I mean,
It was a fun
It
shoot.
was really fun to shoot.
It was cold.
Anyway, so
cold.
we started trying to make this. I made a suit. We're like filming in the houses that are still being built, like fight scenes or whatever. And that stuff never got finished. It just kind of got dropped because the kids didn't really want to do this. I was just like, guys, let's make a movie. Let's do it.
you just force.
Nobody
forcing
wanted to
them.
do this.
Mhm.
So I kind of dropped it. And then I saw an ad for this class in the like CTC catalog, and I was like,
Oh, you saw an
hey.
ad?
Or not an ad, but you know what I mean. I
Well-
saw it in like the CTC list.
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, I like doing that. That sounds cool. And then I came and shadowed, and we recreated a scene from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
I was like-
classic shadow
I was
scene.
like, man, this looks like so much fun. So I signed up,
Oh,
and I got in last year, and it's just been amazing from
yeah.
there.
Yep.
Like this. It doesn't
And we
feel like a class.
we finally started making a Green Arrow movie.
Yes.
Like 2.5 years later,
Mm-hmm.
finally started doing it. Dropped $190 on a suit, which I've been wanting to do
Well,
for
actually,
quite a few
it
years
looks
now.
cool, though, so.
Splurged a little bit. Looks sick though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
That's it.
that about
That-
wraps it up
yeah.
for
Yeah.
episode 2 of the Real Talk podcast.
Yeah.
Origin story.
Origin
Origin
stories. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you everybody for listening. This has been the Real Talk podcast.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
next time.
Bye.